Close your eyes now, and let your breath soften, gently in, gently out. Let the hush of evening gather around your shoulders like a shawl woven from clouds and moonlight. The day has folded itself away. There is no more to do, nowhere to go, except here, where peace rustles like leaves in the dark. Feel the hush, the stillness, like soft wool wrapping your thoughts. Each strand loosening the tightness of the day. Every breath is slower now, every muscle more relaxed, and if there's a breeze, feel it brushing across your skin, cool and faint, like a whisper from the forest. Let it guide you deeper into calm, into comfort, into rest. Our story tonight begins deep in a cradle of mossy hills, where a village nestles at the edge of the Eldergreen forest. It is not marked on any maps. It is only found by those who have been called by the wind. This village is old, older than songs, older than stone, and it is known not for its warriors or kings, but for its grandmothers who spin. Not in daylight, not when the sun is warm and the children play. No, these women spin only when the thunder rolls. The people of Eldergreen say, the thread spun on stormy nights is the strongest of all. That the energy in the air, the crackle of lightning, the thrum of rain twists, the fibers tighter, steadier, with a magic that sunlight cannot mimic. On calm days, the spinning wheels rest by the hearth silent, patient, waiting. But when the skies darken and the wind grows restless, you can hear it. The soft creak of wooden wheels turning in time. The low, rhythmic hum that sounds like the earth's own lullaby. In a little house at the edge of the village, beside a willow that leans like a bowing elder, lives one of these grandmothers. Her name is Merla. Her back is curved like the crescent moon, and her voice is warm as tea left to steep on the hearthstone. Tonight, the rain has begun. You hear the first drops kiss the roof, slow and deliberate. One, then another, like a child tapping the glass with wonder. Merla sets down her knitting and walks to the cupboard. From a carved wooden drawer, she removes the bundle of wool clean, carded fragrant with lavender. She kneels before her spinning wheel and runs her fingers across its smooth rim. The wood has darkened from years of storms and stories. With a gentle push, she sets it spinning, and the wheel begins to hum. Outside, the wind picks up, and the thunder answers with a low rumble. Inside, Merla hums along a tune, older than memory. A lullaby without words, known only to those who've listened long enough to forget the world. She draws out the wool, twisting it between her fingers, feeding it to the wheel in steady rhythm. Pull, twist, hum. The motion is hypnotic, like the rise and fall of tides, like breath. In other cottages, other grandmothers are doing the same. You would not know it from the outside. Their windows are shuttered against the storm, and their chimneys smoke in silence. But inside, the same ritual unfolds. An entire village humming in harmony with the storm. The villagers believe this tradition began generations ago, when the first spinners noticed how strong their threads became during thunder. The sound, they said, wove itself into the wool. The lightning helped the fibers remember how to hold fast, and so it became sacred. Not a superstition, but a bond between wool and weather, between hands and heavens. Tonight, as you rest here, you can imagine the whole village wrapped in that low spin. Even the wind seems to soften, curling around the rooftops like a cat settling in for sleep. Merla's wheel slows, then spins again, her foot gentle on the treadle. Her fingers never falter, each motion part of a rhythm she's known since she was a girl. Her own grandmother taught her. On a night just like this one, she remembers the lightning flashing across the hills, her small fingers trembling as she watched the wheels spin for the first time. And the way the storm outside didn't frighten her, not with the wheel humming and the thread growing long and golden in her grandmother's hands. Now, decades later, it is Merla's turn to spin the storm into song. The fire crackles low in the hearth. Shadows dance on the beams above. The rain thickens, drumming softly, like fingers on velvet, and still, the wheel turns. Outside, The trees of Eldergreen sway, whispering secrets to one another. Leaves shimmer wet and silver in the brief flashes of lightning. The forest does not fear the storm. It waits, listens, joins the rhythm in its roots and branches. Even the animals sheltered in burrows, in dens, beneath the thorns seem lulled by the sound. The Spindle-Hum of Eldergreen is not just for the village. It carries on the wind, curling through the trees, brushing the wings of sleeping owls, nudging foxes into dreams. And now, it reaches you. Can you hear it? That soft hum behind the rain? The turning of the wheel? The gentle, tireless rhythm that says, all is well, all is calm. The storm is safe. Let it lull you. Let the thread of the story wrap gently around your thoughts. Let it twist and turn through the quiet corridors of your mind, smoothing every crease, untying every knot. You are in Eldergreen now, when nothing rushes, nothing shouts, and even the thunder knows to whisper. The thread grows longer in Merla's hands, now glowing faintly in the warm light of the fire. She does not watch it as she spins. Her eyes rests on the window. Though the shutters are drawn, she sees, not the rain, but memory. Once, she spun with her sister, side by side, two wheels turning in twin rhythm. They would laugh softly under their breath, whispering stories between the pull and twist of wool. But now Merla spins alone, and even that has a softness to it, like a lullaby sung only to the wind. In her room, a faded shawl lies, folded a gift from her sister, woven from thread born of storm. It is said that such cloths could hold warmth through a winter and calm a crying child with just one touch. Some say the storm itself sleeps inside the fabric, and when held close, it hums a song of peace into your heart. Outside, the thunder rolls across the hills like a slow drumbeat. It does not crash or rage, it wanders. It speaks not in anger, but in comfort. You begin to feel it now, the way the thunder wraps itself around the spinning song, like a deep voice, humming a harmony beneath the wheel. Merla's cat stirs by the fire and blinks slowly, then curls back into its own little world. The scent of wool and wood smoke thickens the air, familiar as a dream remembered just before waking. In the far end of the village, in another little cottage, where ivy curls thickly over the roof, another wheel turns. This one belongs to old Brina, whose laughter once shook the walls when she was younger and bolder. Now she hums as she spins, her voice cracked like old wood, but no less sweet. Brina lights a candle each time she spins a blue one, for courage. She says the storm listens better when there is light, however small. She tells the neighborhood children stories about lightning being the flash of angels threading the sky with golden needles, and thunder, that's just the sound of their spinning wheels. And in a cottage near the mill, where the path turns soft and muddy, young Isha spins too. She is not yet a grandmother, not even a mother, but she learned the old ways, and her hands are gentle with the wool. Her wheel is newer, not yet worn smooth by years, but the song it hums is true. Esha sits near the open window, unafraid of the storm. She likes how the wind lifts the edge of her curtains, how the scent of rain mixes with the lavender oil she rubs into her hands before spinning. She says it helps the thread know her kindness. Each wheel, each woman, each song, they weave something greater than yarn. They weave calm. They weave tradition. They weave a bond between storm and soul. Some say these threads are used only for special cloth blankets to wrap newborns, cloaks for those leaving on long journeys, scarves given to those who grieve. Threads spun in storms carry weight, not heaviness, but strength, a steadiness of heart, a silence of spirit. The villagers know, when the wheel hums, you are never truly alone. Merla shifts her feet, her treadle slowing just a little, just enough to give her hands a rest. She leans back and lets the hum echo in her ears. Not just her wheel now, but Brina's and Esha's and all the others. A chorus of comfort. The rain thickens, as though pleased with its own rhythm. The sky flashes once, a brief silver smile behind the clouds. You feel it too, that sense that something ancient watches over the village. over you, not with eyes, but with presence, with memory, and you begin to drift deeper. Imagine the scent of that cottage, the blend of wool, lavender, hearthstone, and storm. Imagine the sound of the spinning wheel, gentle as a lullaby sung by someone who's known you all your life. Imagine the glow of the fire, warming the soles of your feet, the tip of your nose, the place behind your eyes, where dreams begin. Outside, the world grows quieter still. The forest listens, the trees holding their breath between gusts. The thunder softens, not because it is ending, but because it has been heard. In the ancient tales passed down through Eldergreen, there is a belief that every time a wheel hums during a storm, the forest grows a little wiser. The roots dig deeper, the trunks grow steadier, the leaves shimmer with new light. Come morning, it is a shared growth. The storm strengthens the wool calms the soul softens the storm. In Merla's room, the thread is nearly finished. Her bobbin is full thick and ready for weaving. She ties off the end and runs her fingers gently across the spool, the way one might pat the back of a sleeping child. The thread is warm, still holding the hum. She places it on the shelf beside the others, where the storm-spun yarn rests until its purpose is known. Some skeins stay there for years, some are taken the very next day. But none are wasted. Each one waits for the moment it is needed. Merla returns to her chair, but does not reach for more wool. Instead, she closes her eyes and lets the hum settle inside her chest. She smiles, just barely. Her hands rest in her lap. The cat stirs again, then climbs into her arms, purring in rhythm with the now silent wheel, and the thunder continues its soft journey across the hills. Now half a lullaby itself, echoing the memory of the wheels, the threads, the women, the warmth. Now, let your own breath follow that rhythm. Slow, steady, soft, let the story spin its own thread inside you. Everything is still. Everything is held. Everything is ready for sleep. Somewhere, not far, the stream that threads through Eldergreen sings a lower song. Its voice deepened by the rain. It bubbles softly over stones, worn smooth by years of water's kindness. Even the frogs and owls have stilled, listening to the quiet rhythm the village breathes. When the wheels are turning, you're beginning to feel that sensation of being part of something older, something slow and certain. Here, in this hush, there's nothing pulling you forward. There's only rest, only presence, only the gentle hum still echoing in the walls, in the window panes, in your chest. Esha's candle flickers in her window. She leans close to the spinning wheel, not to see better, but to listen closer. She thinks she can hear her mother's voice in the hum, a woman who once spun through every storm and taught her to let the thread find its own path, not to pull too hard. The wheel knows. Her mother used to say the thread knows. All you must do is stay soft. That thought comforts Esha now, as it might comfort you. You don't have to push. You don't have to figure anything out tonight. You can just be still. Let your body soften like wool before the twist. Let your mind float, drifting like mist among the trees. Some villagers say the threads spun during storms are strong because they carry not only the power of the storm but the softness of surrender. The knowing that the sky is wild, but the hands are steady, that the wind may shake the shutters, but the wheel will keep humming. Brina's wheel has stopped now too. She's finished her thread and wrapped it neatly in coils beside her on the hearth bench. The candle burns low, casting shadows like dancers on the old stone walls. She hums once more, the final verse of a lullaby her grandmother used to sing when her hands were still nimble and young. Spin and sing and drift and dream. Let the night be soft and wide. Twist the wool and trust the storm. The morning waits on the other side. The words barely leave her lips, but they echo somehow across the rain, through the trees, and into the quiet places of Eldergreen. They find you too, nestling between your ribs where tension used to live, replacing it now with warmth, stillness, a kind of drowsy glow. Up in the hills above the village, where the stone path disappears into forest, the ruins of an old spinning hall still stand. The roof is long gone, and vines curl through the empty windows. But some say that on stormy nights like this, you can still hear wheels turning inside. No one has spun there in centuries, and yet the sound remains soft, faint, ghost-like. The wheel remembers. The stone remembers. The storm remembers. And they all hum together. Children who grow up in Eldergreen are never afraid of storms. They're taught from the start that thunder is not to be feared. It's the sign that the wheel song is returning, that the thread will be spun anew, that peace will be woven into the world again. Even now, with most of the wheels gone still, the feeling lingers. You're lying in a bed of quiet now, in a cottage that could be Merla's, or Brina's, or someone who spun long ago, and whose thread was used to weave the blanket wrapped around your shoulders. Maybe that thread was spun on a night just like this. Maybe it carries its own tiny hum, singing you to sleep. The fire is low, but steady. The rain drums a little slower now. The thunder rolls farther away, deeper into the hills, and your body feels heavier, safe, ready to slip into that space between thought and dream. Let yourself imagine that you are the wool tonight, soft, loose, unburdened, and the storm is the spinner, turning gently, twisting you into something warm, strong, peaceful. Let each breath be a turn of the wheel. Let each sigh be a length of thread released. You are being wrapped in stillness now. In history, in the stories of a village that trusted the storm, not to frighten them but to help them create. Maybe, in your dream, you will walk through the storm will have passed. The sun will warm the stones of the path. The wool hung to dry will glisten in the light, and the wheels will rest until the next thunder comes. You will pass by Merla's house and see her asleep in her chair, her cat curled into her side, the bobbins full of storm threads stacked neatly beside her. You will see Brina standing at her door, her shawl drawn close, humming to herself as she watches the last raindrops fall from the leaves. You will see Esha winding her newest skein of thread into a ball, her smile small and satisfied, her candle still burning blue. And maybe you will hear the wheel song once more, in the rustle of trees, in the hush of breeze, in the quiet of your own breath. Pull, twist, hum, pull, twist, hum. Let go. Let the thread carry you. Let the storm cradle you. Let the spindle hum on. The forest around Eldergreen begins to breathe again in long, quiet waves. The trees are dripping now, not from new rain, but from what the storm has left behind. The storm itself is drifting farther, gentle and slow, like a shepherd guiding sheep into a distant field. Its voice has softened to memory. You are nestled in a stillness that feels hand-spun, as if someone has wrapped the night around you like a shawl, woven from storm-sown wool. You don't need to move. You don't even need to think. All is turning gently, like a wheel. Back in the village, Merla wakes for just a moment, not startled, just stirred by some quiet instinct. She opens her eyes to the dim glow of coals in the hearth, the warm weight of the cat across her lap. Her hand drifts out, fingers brushing the bobbin beside her. It is full and smooth, still holding the warmth of her palm and the energy of the thunder. She smiles to herself, not because something has happened, but because something continues. The wheel has turned again. The thread has grown. She does not need to speak. There is no one to speak to, but her thoughts are soft and round like the wool she spun, and they fill the room with comfort. Then she closes her eyes again and sinks back into rest. Outside her window, the willow tree trembles, releasing drops in slow succession. 1, 2, 3. Like the last notes of a lullaby sung by the rain, a gentle breeze rolls through the grasses at the edge of the forest. It gathers the quiet, folding it into petals, pine, and moss. It drapes the earth in calm. The animals begin to stir just slightly, but even they seem reluctant to break the spell. There is no urgency, just stillness, just breath. Brina, having tucked away her spinning for the night, moves to the window and parts the curtain just an inch. The sky is the color of soot and silk, heavy with the echo of the storm. She listens, but not for danger, She listens for the silence that follows a sacred hush that only those who spin can truly hear. It is in this silence that the threads sing. Not aloud, not even in the ear. They sing in the skin, in the spaces between heartbeats. She feels it now, the way you are beginning to feel it, as if the air around you is stitched together with unseen threads, tugging gently, soothing every frayed edge of your day. She steps back and lets the curtain fall, then presses a kiss to her fingertips and touches the top of her spinning wheel. A thank you, a blessing. Then, without another thought, she returns to her bed, lays her shawl over her shoulders, and is asleep before her eyes are fully closed. Esha, too, feels this shift. She rests her hands in her lap, the last of her yarn gathered neatly on her table. She hasn't lit the lantern. The only light is from the soft glowing coals in the hearth and the pale blue shine of the candle's flame. She leans forward, her elbows on the sill, looking out at the rain-slicked world. The stone path gleams, catching reflections from the clouds. She imagines what the morning will bring. The hush of dew, the glint of sun on leaves, the scent of wet wood and moss, the forest washed clean. She closes her eyes and lets the image settle inside her like a warm bowl of soup. Her fingers still hum from the wheel. Her breath is deepening. The day has been spun into night. The night now spins into dreams. You are part of that dream. This world, this village, the threads they spin, they are not separate from you. They were waiting for you. Even now, in this resting space, the spindle of the story turns, quietly, comfortingly, and you are the wool, softening further, loose, floating, almost drifting free. Pull, twist, let the wheel carry your thoughts like clouds across a moonless sky. Let the thread become a bridge into sleep, crossing from the waking world into a deeper, gentler place. There is no sound now, but the small rhythms of night, the quiet drip from eaves, the deep breath of wind in the trees, the faint tick of cooling stone. You are wrapped in it all, like a child in a blanket spun by loving hands. Somewhere in the hills, past the old ruins and the crook of the stream, the first owl lifts from its branch, its wings silent as fallen ash. It drifts into the night, gliding above rooftops where dreams have begun to settle like frost. And in those dreams, the threads continue. They stretch from one soul to the next, invisible but strong. They loop around the wheels, through the hands of the spinners, into the cloth of stories told in sleep. You might walk there now, in that dream village, where nothing hurries, where every breath is shared by stars and hearths alike. You might see the dye pots steaming in the early light, or hear a lullaby echoing from a high window, or pass a grandmother who looks into your eyes and knows you've come from a long way, orphaned, that you re-welcome here. There are no roads in Eldergreen, only paths, and you are already on one. Where it leads does not matter now, because the journey itself is the spinning, and the spinning is peace, and peace is where you are. A soft fog begins to settle over Eldergreen, curling in from the edge of the forest like wool gathering in a basket. It clings to fences, wraps around low stone walls, and rests gently on rooftops like a blanket laid by unseen hands. The fog is not cold. It is the kind that holds warmth within it, the kind that mutes the world into silence. Each footstep through it would be no louder than a thought. The village sleeps beneath it now, each house tucked into the land like a seed in soft earth. You are not outside looking in. You are part of it now. The calm has found you. The wheel has hummed its way into your heartbeat, and slowly, softly, the rhythm has begun to dissolve your edges. You are becoming still, becoming light, becoming thread. Somewhere in that fog, a shutter creaks ever so slightly. A breeze stirs the edge of a curtain, but the motion is not alarming. It is only the world breathing in again after the storm's lullaby. Merla's dreams are woven from memory and scent. In her sleep, she walks through a version of the village she knew as a child. The paths are lined with flowering flax. The wells ring with laughter. The sky is always full of soft rain clouds, and the spinning wheels turn in every home. In her dream, Her sister walks beside her again. They're small, barefoot, racing to fetch more wool from the drying lines before the rain. Their hands brush, and they giggle, and even the clouds above them seem to smile. It is not a dream of longing. It is a dream of returning, of remembering what was never truly gone. Brina dreams too, but her dream is of colors, threads glowing in the dark, stretched across the sky like constellations, each one a storm-spun filament, guiding travelers across the seas of sleep. She sees her own thread there, deep red and steady, looping from heart to heart. She follows it with her eyes closed, never needing to ask where it leads. It carries her through fields, over mountains, across forgotten rivers. It wraps gently around the shoulders of those who need comfort, then returns to her hand, ready to give again. Esha dreams differently. Her dream is of sound, a song made entirely of spinning wheels, all humming in harmony. She walks through the village and hears it through every door, a music made of movement and rest. And when she steps outside, the trees are humming too. The sky has joined in. Even her own footsteps create melody. It is in this shared sleep that Eldergreen breathes together. There are no clocks ticking, no bells ringing. Time moves as a thread does gently, without urgency, flowing forward only because it is its nature to do so. You are floating now in that same time, the kind of time that doesn't measure, only holds. It holds your breath, your body, your thoughts. You don't need to remember anything. You don't need to prepare. You don't need to resist. Just listen. Somewhere deep, almost beneath hearing, the spindle still hums. Pull, twist, hum. And with each quiet cycle, something inside you smooths out further. A small tightness softens. A knot untangles. A worry releases itself like a leaf floating down a stream. The wool does not rush to become thread. The thread does not rush to become cloth. The cloth does not rush to become anything at all. It simply becomes. And so do you. In Eldergreen, they say that the best wool comes not only from the storm, but from the stillness. After that moment when the world feels held, when the silence sinks, when breath and memory lie side by side, not needing to speak. Maybe that's what you're feeling now. That deep, bone-settled peace. That sense that you are not missing anything, that you are not late, that everything is in its own rhythm, exactly where it should be. Let your limbs grow heavy now. Let the fog wrap around you like the morning mist curling through the hedge. Let the last of your waking thoughts melt into softness. You are spun into the story now. You are part of the cloth. The wheel may rest, but the hum remains. In the stone, in the air, in your breath. You can return to it whenever you need. Close your eyes and you'll feel it. Pull, twist, hum. Even if the rain is far away, even if the storm has passed, even if the thread is done for the night, the Spindle-Hum of Eldergreen remains, waiting for you, spinning peace, spinning rest, spinning sleep. The morning has not yet come, but the sky begins to lighten just a little. Not with color, but with space. The clouds still hang thick and silver, but there's a softness at the edges, a sense that the dark is loosening its hold. Birds have not yet begun their songs. The world is still holding its breath. There is a hush that feels almost sacred, as if something precious has just finished being made, and now all things pause to admire it. And what has been made is this night, a tapestry of calm. A weaving of old rhythms, storm-born and a village tucked into itself, a spindle that hummed the soul back into stillness. In her home, Merla stirs again, not fully wakened, just rising within her dream. She turns her head slightly and hears the faintest creak of the wheel cooling beside her. The wood has released its tension, just as she has. She does not open her eyes. She does not need to. She knows the thread is good, that the hum was true, that the piece she spun has found its place. The cat sighs softly in her lap, and both of them slip deeper into that final stretch of rest before the day begins. Elsewhere, Brina lies curled beneath her thick woolen blanket, arms folded gently across her middle, her shawl storm-spun, Thread strong rests over her shoulders still. She always sleeps that way on storm nights, as if to keep the wheels hum near her heart. In the quiet of her mind, she dreams not in pictures or sound, but in texture, in warmth, in the weight of knowing she is held. And Isha, in her little cottage, near the path, is not asleep exactly, but resting in that velvet space, just beyond waking. Her hands are still. Her breath is long. Her thoughts are not thoughts at all, but shapes that drift like clouds behind her eyes. She imagines her thread being used perhaps one day by a mother to swaddle her baby, or by an elder to wrap sore joints. Or maybe it will become part of a tapestry, hung by a storyteller who needs strength in her voice. Whatever its purpose, she knows it will hold. The thread remembers. The thread always remembers. The forest beyond Eldergreen is quiet now, the leaves jeweled with dew. Every branch holds the memory of the storm, its rumble, its wind, but none of them bend under it. The trees have known too many storms to fear them now. They stand taller, straighter, rooted in the hush. And if you listen closely, if you breathe with the rhythm of their stillness, you might feel the echo of the spindles still humming in the moss. It is in the land now. It has become part of the hill and stream and stone. The storm has not passed in vain. It has spun something into the world, something invisible, but real, something that settles gently inside you. So much has softened the hard lines of your thoughts, the tight corners of your body, the edges of your worries. They've all loosened now, becoming pliable, becoming peace. You've let yourself be spun into the fabric of this story, and the fabric holds you. The weight is not heavy, it's grounding, warm, safe. You are not drifting anymore. You are resting, settled, woven in. Let your breath slow again, if it hasn't already. Feel the way your chest rises, then falls, like the pull and release of wool between finger and wheel. Every inhale, a drawing in of quiet. Every exhale, a letting go of everything else. There is nothing to do, nothing to plan, nothing to fix. The storm has done its work. The thread is spun, the spindle rests, and so do you. Now the stars begin to return, faint behind the thinning clouds. They do not glitter, they glow like embers beneath soft ash, barely there, barely needed. The light they give is not for seeing, it's for remembering. Remembering that even in quiet, even in fog, light remains. The village rests beneath them, wrapped in stillness. No footsteps echo on the stone paths. No shutters creak. No doors open. The world is wrapped, not in silence, but in sleep's own music, the kind made of breath, of heartbeat, of dreams spinning themselves through the air like invisible threads. The people of Eldergreen do not wake early after a storm. There is no bell that rings. There is no rooster that calls. Only the soft gathering of light and the slow returning of sound. Like morning, remembering how to speak, Merla will wake when the thread inside her says, "It is time." And Brina, when her shawl has grown too warm for sleep. And Isha, when her first thought is not about spinning but about tea. But not yet. Not now. The village belongs to sleep still, and you do, too. You have wandered far into the story, deeper than the wheels hum. You are beneath it now, where dreams coil into spirals, and the body finally stops reaching. There is nothing more to reach for. You are here. You are part of the cloth, and the cloth holds. The rain left no harm behind. Only freshness, only softened earth and fuller wells and roofs that glistened with silver. The storm brought no fear, only rhythm, only power turned gentle by tradition, only sound transformed into rest. In Eldergreen, they never chase away the storm. They open their hands to it. They sit by the hearth and spin, and the wheel hums, and the thread grows, and all things soften. You can feel it now, not just the thread, but the wheel inside you, a gentle turning, a quiet rhythm. It asks nothing of you. It only hums. It says, "Be still." It says, "Let go." It says, you're already safe. Pull, twist, hum, over and over again, until your thoughts are thread, until your breath is wool, until your dreams are blankets woven of peace. You are not the watcher anymore. You are within it. The fog drapes over your thoughts like a curtain drawn to protect sleep. The last of the storm's thunder has long since gone, and in its place, only memory, only warmth, only rest. Your bones feel softer now. Your limbs are weightless. Even your name begins to dissolve, not lost, but resting. You are not a list of things to do. You are not a sum of plans. You are just breath, just presence. Just one more hush in a night full of them. The spindle no longer spins, but you still hear it, don't you? Not in sound, but in feeling. The lull in your chest, the weight behind your eyes, the way your thoughts blur gently at the edges, like mist across water. This is where the storm was leading you all along, to this moment, this quiet, this cradle of stillness. Let it hold you. You don't have to know where the story ends. You don't have to know where it began. It is enough to be within it, floating, wrapped, spun, safe. Now the world feels distant, not in a lonely way, but like you've moved behind a curtain of wool, where sound is soft and sight is no longer needed. You're not separate from it, you are wrapped in it. Like the thread once held by Merla's hands, the fog lifts ever so slightly, curling toward the tree line, as the first suggestions of day begin to touch the sky. But not sharply. Nothing in Eldergreen ever arrives too quickly. Even the sun remembers to tiptoe. Its light comes like breath through woven cloth, diffused, warm, golden gray. Still, no one rises. The village holds to the last moments of night, cradled by the spinning that came before. No one disturbs the hush, because here the hush is sacred, and you, too, are part of that hush. You've moved far beyond the world of tasks and time. You've entered the space between threads, where stillness, lives, and dreams are spun into being. The wheel may not be turning anymore, but its rhythm still echoes in your limbs. That steady pull and release, that lull, that tug your awareness from the waking world and spun it gently into sleep. Pull, The spindle of the storm may be quiet, but its song has been stitched into your breath. You lie now in the woven warmth of the village, a house that smells of hearthstone and wool, a window that looks out over fields still kissed by rain. You don't need to move. You don't need to open your eyes. The light will wait. The morning will wait. Eldergreen understands the art of waiting. It knows that rest, once begun, should never be rushed. Far away. The first cart will creak down the path. A goat will stir. A broom will sweep softly across stone. But not yet. You are still inside the spell of the storm, still wrapped in the thread that was spun just for you. And in this space, the thread is not cloth. It is comfort. It is rhythm. It is story. A story that began long before you and will continue long after. A story that welcomes you each time you need to return to it. Each time you hear the rain begin to fall. Each time the thunder rolls low and kind across the sky. Each time your heart needs the hush of a wheel turning. You'll remember Elder and the women who spin and the thread that holds. Even now, even here, you are not alone. Not now. Not ever. You are wrapped, held, cradled by the hum. There is nothing more to hear, nothing more to know. Only the quiet, only the breath, only the warmth. Sleep now. With the story folded around you like the shawl by Brina's hearth. Sleep now, with the piece of a thread spun in storm. Sleep now, as the village sleeps. Still, safe, soft. The rhythm of sleep now runs deeper than words. Even the air seems to slow. There is no longer a need to follow the story. It has already wrapped itself around you. It doesn't ask to be remembered. It only asks to be felt. And you feel it now, don't you? The way your thoughts have softened into quiet patterns. The way your breath has fallen into a lull. The way your muscles have finally released their hold on the day. You are resting in a kind of silence It doesn't feel empty, it feels full, full of thread, full of hush, full of something ancient and soft and steady, like the echo of a wheel turned by hands that knew how to wait and how to trust and how to soothe. Somewhere in the folds of sleep, the storm still stirs not as thunder or rain now, but as rhythm, a memory of movement that continues in the dark, winding itself around the spirit like yarn around a spindle. It doesn't spin quickly. It doesn't need to. Its only work is comfort. And it does that work so well. Let it wind through you now. Let it move through your chest with each breath. Let it settle behind your eyes and under your skin and around your thoughts. Let it be enough. Because it is. You follow the thread this far. Through the storm. Through the village. Through the dreams of spinners and the hush of rain. And now you're at the center of the cloth. The place where the hum is quietest and deepest. The place where sleep truly begins. No footsteps will come to disturb you here. No voices will call your name. This is the part of the night where nothing is asked of you at all. Only that you rest. Only that you breathe. Only that you allow yourself to be still. You don't need to hold on to the story anymore. It is holding you. You are inside it now. Like a name whispered into a fold of wool. Like a wish placed beneath the pillow. Like the final turn of the wheel before dawn. Even the light outside respects this moment. It creeps slowly, humbly, across the fields. It warms the stones without waking them. It touches the trees without stirring their leaves. And when it reaches the village, it pops. Because Eldergreen does not rise until the hush says, it is time. You still have time. Time to rest. Time to dream. Time to drift deeper into the rhythm that carries you. You are not just listening to the story. You have become its quiet ending. A perfect hush at the close of the wheel song. A thread smoothed and finished, glowing faintly with warmth. A breath released. A storm remembered not for its thunder but for the peace it brought. So now, let even the thread go. Let the last of your thoughts dissolve. Let your awareness stretch into sleep. Slow as fog, soft as spun wool. Nothing else remains but rest, and that is all you need. Outside, the world begins to lift the veil of night. Dew clings to the low stone walls, and tree branches bow slightly under the weight of it. Light does not flood Eldergreen. It seeps in carefully, like a kindly guest invited only once the hush has done its work. A single bird stirs, letting out a brief, uncertain chirp before settling again. Even morning knows not to rush here. It's as if time itself is stretching, slow and sleepy, savoring the quiet before it shifts. In the little cottage by the moss path, Merla stirs. Her cat doesn't move, and neither does the weight of the woolen shawl draped over her knees. The wheel has long cooled beside her. Its hum now lives only in memory, warm, soft, Her eyes don't open yet. She simply exhales, a breath that carries the deep peace of work well done, of night. The hush still holds her, just as the thread once did. All is still. Brina, curled on a low bed, dreams of nothing and everything. Her face is slack with rest. Her hand lies palm up, open to the faint warmth in the air, near the hearth. Her shawl has slipped to the floor, and no one rushes to retrieve it. The air is still too gentle for urgency. Even the fire's ashes rest without stirring. All things remain wrapped in silence, the kind that doesn't just quiet the world but blesses it. And Esha, whose candle burned itself out hours ago, remains in her chair. The yarn she spun lies beside her, coiled like a sleeping creature. Her face is tilted slightly toward the window, where a pale band of gold now stretches across the low sky. She is not awake but not fully dreaming either. Her thoughts drift like wool carded into mist. There is no boundary between her breath and the world beyond the walls. Everything is softness now. The fog, reluctant to rise, still clings to the treetops and the path. It carries with it the echo of the wheel hum, though the wheels themselves have long since paused. The storm, too, has moved undissolved into memory. Yet in the bones of the village, in the rhythm of your chest, its gentleness remains. You are part of that now. Not watching it, not hearing it, being it. You have followed the thread through thunder and hush, through hearths and dreams. You've felt your body slow, your thoughts soften, and now you've reached the center of the cloth. There are no more spindles turning. There is only warmth, stillness, sleep. No final scene needs unfolding. No last line needs spoken. The story holds you, even as it fades. So rest. Let yourself stay wrapped in a piece of that hum. Let the hush carry you all the way under. You've already arrived. You're safe. You're held. Sleep now.